today I want to welcome Emily Schaeffer, who's a student at University of Minnesota with one of our precast studios. And Emily's going to tell us a little bit first, just to get started, about what she's doing with the precast studio there and some of the research that she's doing. So Emily, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're doing with precast at school?
Yeah, for sure. So COVID's kind of thrown us for a little bit of a loop with our whole learning environment this year, as I think everybody's kind of been experiencing. So we weren't able to do like our big beam that is normally done, where we get to like make it, break it, do all those kinds of experiments. However, we did do a really awesome trip down to Moline in Lino Lakes, and we were able to kind of see their whole precast situation, which is crazy because you hear about it. And my high school actually worked with a precaster on our building our gymnasium. So it was cool kind of seeing how it went from me being a high school student and seeing my gym built to actually getting to see how it and know how it all works. So that's kind of what got me into the whole thing. And then Dr. Diamond and Dr. Christensen and Dr. Schaeffer, basically all of them, everybody who likes concrete here at UMD have brought up in their classes doing the precast certificate. And it's so far been such an amazing experience. So we've learned, currently I'm in our pre-stressed class, learning about that kind of stuff. Obviously 100% online, unfortunately. However, we are still getting that really good information from Dr. Schaeffer and all of the things. And she's telling us about how she's working with the PCI manual and like how they're rewriting and redoing all these things, which is it feels like a behind the scenes look at how it all kind of comes to be, which has been an awesome experience.
What year are you in school?
I'm a senior.
Are you making plans then for after you graduate?
Yeah, so my fiance is actually in the Air Force. So we are headed to his pilot training either in Oklahoma, Mississippi, or Texas. But we won't find out until April where we're going. So once we know where we're going, hopefully I can go and start the job hunt. But
okay, so what kinds of jobs are you looking for? Anything then where you would use the precast certificate you've been working on?
Yeah, I would really like to. It's kind of become my identity with my friends because I have a lot of civil friends, but then most of them are outside of civil. So my identity is that I love concrete. That's just how it is, which is a good thing. I don't know if that anybody probably watching would probably agree, but so yeah, I would really love to just kind of stay in concrete, doing more of the design aspect of it. But what I saw when we went to the offices down at Moline was really something that I could see myself doing for years on end. It was so much fun. Yeah.
So was that your first time in a precast plant when you went to the Moline plant?
Yeah, it was. It was my first opportunity where I got to see it all hands on and just be like, whoa, this is so high tech. Like you know it's high tech, but you don't realize how high tech it is until you see it.
Something else that I think surprises a lot of the students when they actually get to go into the plant is just the scale that precast is made on. Did that surprise you at all?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Like obviously they have to be able to build walls and beams for these big buildings, but you don't really realize it. But yeah, no, the scale was huge, and then the yards that you see all of it stored in, it's just like it's everywhere, which is we saw it in I don't want to say winter, I think it was fall, but it had snowed, so you just saw all of this concrete just with snow in between it.
Sure. Yeah.
So cool.
Are you planning on grad school at all, or are you going to go right into the workforce?
Yeah, so I wanted to do grad school originally. However, with my fiance moving, I thought it'd be better to kind of hold off a little bit. Plus we get grant money through his job to go back to school. So my plan is to probably get working a little bit, and then I really want to go back to school and then focus in like the structures, concrete type of stuff.
Yeah, we do see sometimes with students in our different precast programs, they end up going to another school that has one of our precast programs. So
yes, exactly.
Sometimes the grad students see each other that way. Have you made any connections with industry people that have anything fun happen?
So this year, not so much. The biggest thing that I've really gotten to experience was all of the talking that we've done with Dr. Schaeffer about the pre-tensioning and post-tensioning stuff, which has been super influential to me and like actually making me care about it more. But there's definitely been some people that just even at career fairs, they bring it up and they're like, oh, you have this certificate on your degree. And then we talk about it. And it's like
Okay.
them being interested in something that they seem to understand it, but it's like, wait, like, oh, I didn't realize that they actually have that now. That's super cool. Like, I'm glad you're learning about this. It's something really excited to take our business class for precast in the fall or in the spring.
Right.
Take that kind of gives us more of a business out view of it, just because most of my family is in business versus the engineering side of it. So I'm able to kind of smush it together.
Yeah. So for the people who are watching this who don't know, University of Minnesota Duluth is the only one of our programs who actually has a business class as part of their program. They actually have a series of courses where the students can then get a notation on their degree.
Yeah.
That says that you have this series of courses in pre-stressed concrete. And one of them is actually a business course. And so last year because of COVID, I actually got to sit in on the course. And they actually looked at kind of the business workings of a precast pre-stress class. So that's actually the only one of our programs that has that. So it's something that's really unique to your program. So I hope it's a lot of fun for you.
Oh yeah, I've heard all good things about it. And I mean, as people have gone through the program, we just are learning. We've learned so much, and it's nice to just be able to have that extra little thing to hand to an employer, be like, look, I understand this. I promise.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I know that you guys have is the model that's there in the lab.
Okay.
So has that been kind of, it's got posters and stuff all over it. Has that been kind of fun to work with, or has that been a good learning tool for you?
It's been fantastic. It's really nice because I'm a visual learner and a hands-on, like touchy-feely learner. So I've been able to like go over to it, and you see that, you know, that there are connections within this concrete, but you can actually see the connections. So you can be like, it's not just a drawing. I can actually be like, okay, so this does loop this way, and like that has to be connected there because the shear or whatever. So it's been, for me, especially as a visual learner, it's been so helpful. And we go over there during our initial concrete class, and it's like, okay, well, what does this one do? Why is that there? Like, is it necessary? Like, yes, of course it's necessary, but why?
So is there anything else about the courses that you've taken or the industry involvement that really kind of sticks out to you, that you think that people who might be thinking about donating money to kind of sponsor these types of programs in the future should know?
To any prospective people who are looking and have more interest in our different programs, it's been a huge deal to me to be able to get to have the PCI Foundation help me with school. It's because I do have this drive to want to do all of these things having to do with concrete. And it's helped me a little bit focus more on my studies and everything. And being able to have people from the industry come in and talk to you just in classes. They pop into Zoom sometime. And it's like, oh, hey, like our professor will introduce us and they'll explain what they do. And it makes you just that much more excited, because as a student, you don't really see the business side and you don't see the engineering every day. It's awesome to hear from people as I'm then transitioning into the workforce. It's really nice to be able to hear actual people's sides of it. So it makes me more and more excited about being able to join the workforce instead of being timid and scared because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So it's helped so much to have that as a part of our curriculum. I think that's my biggest thing is like going into school at UMD just as a freshman, I was worried. And then as we've gotten to know professors and people in the industry who are so connected to UMD, we've gotten so lucky to have we have some awesome structural firms here in Duluth who will just come and hang out and they talk to us. Like before pre-COVID, we had a lot more fun, but I mean, it's all still fun.
All right. Anything else that we should know about your program, your studies, your professors before we finish up?
I mean, I cannot talk more highly of my professors. They're all the best. I just actually had a little one-on-one with a prospective student. She asked me what my favorite thing about UMD was. And I said, well, I can walk into any of my professors' offices and they know exactly what they're saying, but they say it so I understand it.
That's great.
It's great. I feel beyond lucky and would do it all over again if I could.
That's great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us today and telling us a little bit about the program at UMD.
Sure.
And I hope that we get to see you at the PCI convention in New Orleans. That's going to be in May.
Yeah.
And we usually try to get some of the students from UMD to come. So thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Marty.
Okay.